Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Weed and Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, the Ryan Barton Lash, the Rebel Professor, the Eccentric Enigma, along with my co-host, Laniya.
I'm Laniya.
Woo! Awesome. So we got a lot to catch up on, a lot of shows and everything to catch up on. We got this Smackdown going on here right before Wrestle Mania weekend. A lot of bit and a lot of not a bit to cover with it, because some cool stuff does definitely happen, and then there's just a lot of in between stuff that happens too. So all in all, pretty good SmackDown. It's was the start of the week there, starting in Las Vegas there, T-Mobile Arena, and it's 11th SmackDown. It's hosted 9 PLEs, and it hosted WrestleMania 9, and obviously WrestleMania 41. But yeah, we start out the show here with Seth freaking Rollins promo here. Comes out and there's CM Punk chants happen, and Seth sits down. Then some OTC chants start. And Seth talks on a little bit and says Punk didn't come back for the chance, he came back for the big fat check. And then reference, tell me when I'm telling lies. Referenced unto him there. And, called him out as being a liar, a fraud, and a coward. And then he called out Roman being Mr. Private Jet and Mr. Limited Schedule, Mr. Holdout for the big check, and how they don't know nothing about sacrifice, and how Seth knows everything about sacrifice, how he spent from the time he got that World Heavyweight title and faced everybody that came in front of him and really worked for it. And that's 100% fucking true. Seth really did put on a clinic with that, like, holding the title for, like, just under a year there, I think.
Yeah, he was definitely shorted.
And then it started out, his whole thing, it started out with Paul Heyman, and how that Paul Heyman brought the Shield in to protect CM Punk. And then the spotlight was on Roman, after that, and Seth had to continually just work and work and work for what he did, and how, Punk left, Roman got to the top and stopped working, and yeah, Seth is gonna make sure that, Roman's, will lose, and Seth will make sure that the company moves forward, and says that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. Which, given the late release of this, and eventually what happens, with WrestleMania and the oncoming Raw and stuff like that, that was not a prediction; it was a spoiler.
My favorite part was when he called Punk a liar, a fraud, and a coward. I'd be like, yes, I've been saying it for years.
Yeah, for real. I had given the promo a 10 because I think that's the best promo that Seth's put on, just to where he was able to take everything without everybody else. He didn't need Punk, he didn't need Roman, he didn't need Paul. He could just sit right there and tell the whole story on
I
his
totally
end.
agree that it was a 10. He definitely he did a short summary, and it was very crisp. I like it. The long drawn out summaries, I'm just like, okay, boo. We could have just watched the last season ourselves, like,
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed how quick it was, and how he got at CM Punk. I am not above that.
Yeah, absolutely. And with what ends up happening, I'm all about it. I'm on the Seth freaking Rollins train. Give me the Seth, Paul, and Braun Breaker, and and throw a couple other people up into that. Give us a new Dangerous Alliance. We can
I
use it.
was confused when he threw in Dean Ambrose. I was just like, whoa, wait, hold on. I guess
Yeah,
everybody's in it, but wait, like,
yeah. It's like, yeah, he referenced Dean.
yeah, like, so it was
Yep.
very literally filled in all the gaps of his,
Yeah.
journey there.
Which that's like a meme I had seen the other day of pictures of every time Roman's been betrayed, and how Dean Ambrose was actually the only one that never betrayed him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Which, hey, that's just part of his character. He's the tribal chief, but no longer has a tribe. Um,
I mean, all storylines gotta come to an end. Some need to come faster than others. Why is Judgment Day? I'm sorry.
we'll definitely get to that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, definitely a 10. Next up, we got the Andre the Giant Battle Royal,
Yeah, it
and
was a lot.
and outside of typical fashion of like where I would go over moves, there's obviously well too many fucking people inside this match. So I'm just gonna call out the eliminations as they went out.
Hmm.
So got first elimination, Carlito, then R-Truth, then we get Los Garza, both of them, and then both are pretty deadly. Tyler Bate goes out, then Santo Escobar. Tozawa gets knocked out. Then both the Creed brothers go out. Then Otis goes out.
That was so
Um,
stupid.
yeah,
He eliminated
uh,
himself.
yeah, right. Um, A-Town Down Under goes out. Then it's Chad Gable. Um, then there's two rando guys that I did not have their names. They did not say their names. They went
Um,
out.
um, Cruz del Toro was eliminated by Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke.
Yeah. And then you had Jaquan Wild across.
Okay, yeah. There's those two guys, and then Karrion Kross, um, then Dragon Lee, then Ludwig Kaiser, then The Miz, then Pete Dunne, um, then Shinsuke Nakamura, and then we have Ray Phoenix, who gets eliminated by El Grande Americano.
Dun dun dun.
Um, and with that, Andrade gets eliminated by Carmelo, and Carmelo Hayes wins.
It was so weird and like it got so convoluted toward the middle. I was just like, let me go drink water and step outside and do a walk. So like honestly, like I listened, but I really didn't watch most of it. 'Cause I was just like,
Yeah.
this is going on way too much.
It was all in good battle royal, especially when they got down to the last when they got down to the last like six. That's when it really turned into it, and then the final four. Because I mean, especially that final four right there. Your final four was Shinsuke Nakamura, Ray Phoenix, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes. Yeah, those are four of the best
Oh,
in-ring
it
performers
got
out
to
there
six.
right
It was
now.
great. And before that, I was just like, way too much going on. You
Yeah.
know.
Uh, yeah, and that's always the thing with the, battle royals. It just basically starts out and, all right, everybody hit each other. Everybody start swinging. Um,
Maybe it's just because I am not a huge fan of a lot of the roster now. That I'm just like, when is this over? But yeah, that's how I felt. That's all.
which I think this did a pretty decent job of showing off a good bit of the mid card that's going around right now.
It definitely
Um,
did.
and
Definitely did.
and the thing and my thing with Carmelo Hayes winning, I'm perfectly fine with him winning. my biggest thing is him actually getting pushed. Like he was that number one SmackDown draft pick, and nothing
Yeah,
ever really came from it. He ended up having that 8 match run with Andrade, which was a great run of matches. Um, and now he's won this battle royal, and they're kind of pairing him up with The Miz, and it's like, give this man something to do.
I
Like,
can't stand him as like it's not even his character. I don't like. I just can't. It's like
I like his in ring work. I think he's a really solid in ring worker. They need to develop some sort of character with him. Um,
yeah,
obviously he's botched a couple promos here and there, not too badly, just the one bad enough to make fun of LA Knight can make fun of him. Just be like, you mean my name's LA Knight? Yeah, dummy.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Just and like my thing is, he's been there for so long. Like, why is this still issue? It's just so much. I was
Yeah,
like excited when I first saw him, and now I'm just like wah wah.
yeah, and that's why if they're gonna put it on somebody, like, actually push them. Um, because otherwise, what's the point in having this battle royal other than be like, and here's for everybody not on the WrestleMania card this weekend.
Yeah,
Um,
there was a lot.
yeah,
There's a lot. I'm not
um,
against who won though. I don't actually didn't care who won. I'm like
yeah, fair
yeah.
enough. But I gave the battle royal an 8, guys, especially when it got down to the last 6. Um,
I gave it 6.5.
yeah, it got really intense once it got down to the last 6, and I really enjoyed that. Um, Next up, we got Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca Belair promo. Um, Crowd booing draws my sentiment. Naomi looks awful. Stalker shit is dumb. Please beat the fuck out of her. That moonsault looks great. But I gave it a 0.
Um, I I'm sick of moonsaults. Is everybody a heel here?
Yeah,
So
it,
everybody's a
it,
heel there. Everybody in that circumstance was a heel. Because I'm
everybody
so
except for Io, basically. I think Io was the only, because it's like her face was getting pushed, for weeks.
yeah, but it was good for what it was. But what it was, I don't know.
Yeah, just unnecessary bullshit. That's why I gave it a 0.
But
Made no difference.
I give it an 8
That
because
that
they had good
Naomi showed up.
I gave it an 8 because they really did good. They showed good technique, because the athleticism. I just did it doesn't. I just didn't understand. I just didn't know why we're doing this. Why it's even here? Why is this thing right now? Why do we have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over? That's why I was just like, I don't understand. But you guys are good. Give it an 8.
Yeah,
At least it's not Judgment Day.
fair enough. Um, Next we get American Made and Ray Phoenix, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio. Um, Little promo tag thing to set up their 6-man tag. One done. Did what it needed to do. Then we get Motor City Machine Guns versus the Street Profits for the tag team titles. And starts out with baseball slide.
Was there a
That looked like
reason they were
what's up?
chanting "We want the smoke"? I was like, why are they chanting that? What the hell's going on? Did they just make this up
That
today?
that's the Street Profits. The whole new phrase is "We want the smoke." I mean,
I
they've
like that.
said it
I heard
before,
that.
but that's like a chant now.
When did that happen? Did I miss when that became a chant? Because I I
I
was just
guess
like, why
just
is he chanting
recently.
this?
Yeah,
Oh, damn, the things you miss when you don't care. Okay.
yeah. Um, yeah. We get a baseball slide, shit that goes over the rope, um, standard armbar clothesline, leg, then like a leg elbow drop kind of deal. Um, Montez hits with a nice clothesline. Um, Angelo hot tags in nicely. Another tag to Doomsday Blockbuster, which I just love it when those guys do that. They're so good at it. Um, uh, then we get a 10 punch by Alex. Spine Buster by Dawkins. Montez and Dawkins do like just good double up like tag team control there for like solid like it seemed like 4 or 5 minutes there. They were just doing a clinic um on just how to be a good tag team. Then there's a hot tag to Chris Sabin. There's drop kick to Flatliner. Then we get that toss up suplex that looked really great. Um, uh, get this move the facial. Um, and then just an amazing senton from Montez. And then DIY comes in, DQ finish, and they steal the title belts. I gave the match a 6.5 though.
I didn't actually give it any grade.
Yep.
I was just like, the end. Anyway,
Yeah.
no, I literally write the end. So I don't
Yeah.
think, I think I would give it like 7.5. What'd you give it?
I gave it a 6.5.
Oh, well, I like it a 7.5. It was like again, for what it was good.
Yeah.
Like, in that one, I can kind of figure out what it was. It was leading up to WrestleMania, and like, we're looking for more.
Well,
I'm sorry.
yeah, it ends up leading to their thing later on, which we'll talk
Yeah.
about very shortly. Um,
So I
yeah,
think that's what it was. It was worth. So for that, I give it 7.5. Wasn't too harsh on it. Although I'm not a fan of them, in general.
yeah. Then we get Chelsea Green promo there that sets up the one-on-one with Selena Vega later on in the night. Just gave that a 5. Did what it needed to do.
You fucked
Um,
up. Yeah.
yeah. Um, then um, then it gets the whole DIY Street Profits and them like DIY has to give up the tag titles, and next week's three-way ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which what that ladder match ends up being, a lot of people have criticized um, WWE for not putting it on during WrestleMania weekend, and I guess part of the criticism of it is how high that ceiling was. They had like no probable way to like hang hang titles off of the ceiling.
I
Um,
mean, where there's a will, there's a way. God damn it! All right.
yeah,
But
yeah.
whatever.
I don't know why they didn't do it, but we'll get to that when that ends up coming up. Um, Next, we get a Randy Orton promo of Randy just storming out, ape shit, ready to fucking go.
I
Um,
missed all this.
yeah,
I mean, I didn't write
eh,
down a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah, but yeah, he came out, just looking awesome, sounding awesome, and just being like, I don't give a shit who says what. Somebody is wrestling me on Saturday or Sunday or whichever day.
I
I don't
will
give
get
a
that
shit.
WrestleMania spot.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's his 20th WrestleMania.
He's old. We're all old.
Yeah, he's amazing. Um, but yeah, so I gave that little promo slot a 10. Then there's a Damian Priest promo, which I just rated a 7 because he just said everything that he needed to say. Um, and then we get Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega. And this is
Yeah.
not for title match. And when I get to my last note, which is why wasn't this a title match? I understand why. Um,
Mm.
starts out trick start, where she tricks her, and then slap slam, um, and then a hair slam, and then does the pledge allegiance to Chelsea Green. I love it. Um, then they end up going over the barrier stuff for a bit. There's some forearm trades to clothesline. And then Zelina comes out and pulls out a sunset flip from the top and pins her.
Yeah, it was a glitch in the Matrix.
So my last note was, why wasn't this a title match?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like she's a world champion, she's a US champion. Why wasn't this a title match? And I guess they end up making up for it, the following week, but still I give the match a 6. Zelina, when she was paired up against Piper Niven, um, Zelina and Piper Niven was not a good matchup.
That
Um,
was horrendous. it
uh,
was,
two very different styles, different sizes and everything. Um, Chelsea Green's a perfect opponent for Zelina.
I
Um,
I think in a lot of ways, yeah.
yeah, glad to see her, like, because I mean, for a solid like 6 months there, she was just basically the ring girl for the LWO. She wasn't even really wrestling that much.
Yeah. Yeah. It's glad that she has actually breaking out. They have her actually performing. She's not a bad performer at all.
No,
So,
yeah, you pair her up with the right people, she could be a good performer.
yep.
Um, and next we get the biggest segment of the night because it kind of spans into 3 segments. Individually, it's the LA Knight promo, which LA Knight comes out talking, about inspiration and how he's inspired to keep on winning. And yeah, if you want the sneak, I got the sneak. Then he pulled out a nana and talking about a guarantee of winning his shit. You can't write down everything LA Knight says in a promo properly because he's just spitting hot fire. Just let the man do his work. It's a 10. You know?
I wouldn't even try. He talks too fucking fast. And I trust when someone that speaks too fucking fast. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, this was really good. LA Knight said what he should have said.
LA
Proudly,
Knight is so good.
I pointed out, I was like, the crowd's actually engaged tonight and cheering for all the people, and it's making the show a lot better. I decided to put that in here right now. Apparently, I trailed off a little bit completely.
Yeah. Funny enough, of the 4 days that span, I would say that the crowd was the most active on this Smackdown.
And which
Um,
says something because they were very active during WrestleMania from what we've seen in American crowds.
well, granted,
So,
this was also a smaller stadium.
that's true.
Um, so it had a little bit more of the intimate feel, whereas the WrestleMania stadium, my God, it's like a fucking city. Um,
Yep.
you know, yeah. So I gave that his promo a 10. and it's to lead up to LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa. Comes out to a great running start, where they're just running beating piss at each other. Then there's an ad break, um, uh, backbreaker from LA Knight, and then stops the count. For a while there, there's just great control from Solo. And there's knee to the groin. And then LA Knight starts his comeback, does his awesome DDT, and he gets ready to do his spring back elbow, and then Jacob Fatu comes on in and gets onto him. Then Braun Strowman comes in and does this huge crossbody against the two of them. And then Nick Aldis comes out and he's just like, well, we're just going to make this a tag match now.
I
So,
mean, what was he gonna say? Please sit down,
hey,
people are huge.
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, it was good though, so I'm glad the
oh,
way they worked it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it starts out because there's an ad break, and when we come back from the ad break, the start of that part of the match, tag in from Jacob after a heart attack from Solo. Then it gets some corner slams and a neck pinch, and then something that's notable that I noted here was Jacob goes, "I love you," and doesn't say Solo. He doesn't say Solo. But then he tags him in. Um
Yeah,
and they continue with their control and great corner attacks. Then there's a hot tag to Braun, and then Braun goes on the Strowman Express there. Get a clothesline and DDT. Then a great senton from Jacob. Then there's a tag in of that, vice grip. Another tag in. And finally, Braun gets a hot tag to LA Knight. LA Knight comes whipping ass. Gets the leaping elbow. There's a kick out. And then the Strowman Express, gets derailed for a second, but then LA Knight pulls in the kick and lands with BFT on Solo for the finish.
yeah. I
So,
mean, the Braun Strowman, the train attack thing he has is fucking savage. I love it.
yeah,
And it was
yeah,
good to see LA Knight win. I want to see him win more. Love him.
absolutely. I gave the match a 7.5.
Yeah, I
Thought it
gave the
was
match a 7. But my thing is, what's going on with Solo Sikoa? What's going on with him? He's slipping down the mid card, isn't he?
well, I think they're playing it up that way on purpose. They've been planting lots of seeds with the dissension, and now that Tama Tonga is out too, both Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga are both now out injured.
Hmm.
Um, so now it's just those two. So I think they're planning for dissension in between the two of them, and to have those two go at it.
Well, since there's so much that goes on, let's get right to the next match. Because anything else, and we'll just be dropping hints to stuff that comes later. So.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
but really great match.
it was. I agree.
And then we get a little Tiffany Stratton interview. Um, she kept it. She kept to the script. Which
Yeah,
she's good at keeping to the script, but she's also good at going off script too.
slightly.
Um, um, Flair drew that out of her the last two times, so it was good and refreshing just to see Tiffany get her own interview.
Yeah, she just
there.
low blows at Flair whenever she can. That's just I don't like you. That's what that is. But okay.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, she talks about her loss of confidence. But she's got her kill shot in, and how she's standing up to a bully. Um, and I gave the little interview a 6. I thought it was pretty good.
I didn't give it anything. It was what it was. Mm.
Yeah. Um, and then we got LWO and Ray Phoenix versus American Made. Um, yeah, get a brutal start from American Made there, which them brothers, they are them Creed brothers. They are some specimens. Um,
In so many
they,
ways.
yeah, they really are. Um, yeah, but brutal start to a springboard crossbody, and then yeah to a Hurricane Rana there, and a tag into Dragon Lee. Comes out with Mexican power bomb and then a kick out. Then does this amazing senton, and then there's a triple flying headbutt to where all three of them went in for the flying headbutts. Um, then American Made, I just noted that they maintained good control of tagging in, just that good pacing um, of keeping it down. Uh, then uh, then there's a left shoulder grab there, and then it turns out to a beat down in the corner. We get the Brutus ball, and that leads to a kick out. Then like a triple double stomp, like from everybody, which is nuts. Um, then there's hot tag to Ray. Does this springboard arm drag, and then we get the operation arm drag to this Meteora for the finish. But I gave that match 6.5. I thought it was decent.
I gave it a 7. It wasn't bad, and for other reasons, I'm not gonna say out loud
Yeah.
on here. Anyway,
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, yeah, and then to finish out the night, we got Cody Rhodes and John Cena's kind of co-promo.
I
Um, um, it really picked up once it got to the "Shut Your Mouth, Kid." Um, this is my 20th WrestleMania, and only reason he's here is to take the championship away forever. And yeah, you don't stand a chance. And John tells him, "You want to be somebody? I'm gonna make you somebody." And Cody comes back with, "It's not your WWE." And you left uh, you left your room messy, stuff like that. And comes at him, if I'm underwhelming, you're overrated.
well, two things can be true at one time.
Wait, what was that?
Okay, so I said two things can be true at one time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He can be overrated, and the other can be underwhelming, which they probably are. Anyway,
Yeah,
I just felt like I've heard their little banter before 1,000 times from 1,000 different wrestlers' mouths. I was like, it felt so inauthentic to me from what we have been seeing. Was not a fan, but was a fan. It was good, but
yeah. I for some reason wrote paler than Sting at Starcade '97.
is that it? Is that the speech? Is that where I got the sound of that speech?
Yeah. Um. because I haven't watched this promo in like a week. um, and then the attitude adjustment gets reversed into a crossroads. Uh, but I give this one an 8. Uh, just because of their promos. I think this one kind of did the best of just getting it out. It's almost the promo that I wish happened like 2 weeks ago, and they just left it there at that.
I
Um,
mean, 2 weeks ago, this would have been better, I think. I'm so stupid.
yeah, but yeah, but that closes out this night, and we still got a whole lot more to
Yay! Like and share, like and share.
whole lot to do. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, family about us. We're on Spotify.
And we'll see you next time, guys.
Um, you're on Twitter with